So I told you I was going to talk a little bit about adherence. And when study pills are returned, and so that happens at week 4 and at week 8, and then at week 11, the presumption is that the participants who are taking, who are tapering off, will finish up because they're just being given a few, enough pills to be able to taper. When the pills are returned, they're counted, and we would document that count and their adherence as far as a percentage of the total number of pills that were dispensed or should have been taken will be calculated. One of the key things in these kinds of studies, and I'm assuming you have dealt with this before, is to try to avoid telling the participant or slipping that you're counting the pills. And other studies have had the experience where if they're aware that their pills are being counted, in their desire to sort of do as good a job as possible with the study, then they might do things like dump their study pills before they come to the clinic or something like that. And so ideally, when the participant brings it back her bottle, you take the pills somewhere else and count them. You don't count them in front of the participant. However, one of the things to think about is that if you're counting the study pills and it indicates that she really is not taking as many study pills as she should, you might want to talk to her a little bit more about any difficulties that she's having taking her study pills, barriers that are coming up, would some memory aids help, that kind of thing. As well as the management and safety interview that you'll be filling out asks them to share some of that information. So that if there's data coming from the management and safety interview, she's saying, well, I usually remember to take about 4 pills each week, but I don't, I have a hard time on the weekends remembering or whatever. Or if the pill count indicates that she's not taking at least 80% of her pills, then you might want to offer some support and some guidance, and as I said, maybe follow up with her in another week to see how things are going. This is not a real long-term study, so there's not a need to try to sustain pill taking over the course of years and years, but you would still want to offer them some support and let them know that any difficulties that they're experiencing are understood and sympathized with, and that you'd like to help them as much as possible. And then that sort of more qualitative, if you want to put it that way, adherence support that you would offer should be documented in some chart notes. We don't really have a form to document that. Yeah.
Well, I can't remember. Is there any specific recommendation on when the participants will take the medication, or whenever they remember to take it during the day?
There is no specific recommendation. Usually what happens is that the recommendation is to tune it into something else that's happening at the same time every day. Oh, Julie has something to add.
I think the recommendation is for morning because of sleep, issues with sleep.
Oh, that's
But,
right.
I thought that there was.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so it is, so maybe with a cup of coffee or breakfast or.
Brushing your teeth is always a really good one. No, it's true, because you have the pills right where your toothbrush is, depending on whether it's better to take it, before or after, depending on how the taste is. But that's the one I found that works most effectively. Yeah.
What if you overtake too many pills? Do we have, I know like their adherence is 120%.
That calls for some work with the participant as well. So if you're noticing that their adherence is way over, I think you want to sit down and talk with them about how they're taking their study pills. And yeah,
They could mark it that they've taken the pill on their hot flash diary.
right.
Put a, a little.
They are marking on their hot flash diary that they're taking
So that if
the
they can't
pill.
remember later, they can look back.
But if they're taking too many, that's a concern. And it may be that they didn't quite understand the study regimen. It may be that they're dumping their pills before they come in, or they're loaning them out to someone else, which is of concern. So you would just really want to, you know, you might, I would say you could even sort of take a look at that bottle, and if it's empty, say, I notice your bottle is empty, there's usually some pills remaining, you know, are you not getting enough pills in your bottle, or, you know, are you losing some, or what's going on? You know, kind of put it like that. If, with an overdose, and this is the case with, you know, even if, you know, like if a child gets her pills and somehow downs it, you know, the main thing is that that needs to be referred to the emergency room right away.
Have you seen that in your previous experience very much, to women overhearing?
We've seen overhearing, I'm not sure I've seen overdosing.
Yeah.
Not overdosing, but sometimes it was, for a good reason, it fell in sync and they went down the garbage disposal, but sometimes they would just, you know, they would be at 120 and you're like,
You know, I have to say, these are younger women, and I'm used to working with a little bit older age group, but it is possible for the women that are stepped up to 2 study pills a day that there could potentially be some confusion there. I know with our calcium vitamin D trial, when we were telling participants to take 1 pill twice a day, we found that there were some participants taking 2 pills twice a day, and so they call because they've run out of study pills or something like that. So that would be a cue. I don't think this regimen is that difficult to follow.
Yeah, I think the dose escalation, you still just take it once a day. You just take 2 pills instead.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.